Prize waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise.
Had
So
found
I'll just give you a hint.
a couple of
It involves meeting two people you haven't seen in a long time.
rooms with the same last name as your character. Now, Valve, I think originally when they were talking about Portal 2, were talking about introducing an entirely new male character, and you would play the game through that character's perspective. And part of me says, well, maybe that could be Chell's significant other. That would certainly make sense if they wanted to go that route. And it would give us a reason for bringing Chell back once again to After Science for Portal 3. To have her try and break out her significant other. And that might be the case, or it might not. But perhaps GLaDOS goes nuts again, or the facility falls into disrepair, and the other person with your last name actually contacts you and begs for you to come back. And maybe that's how Portal 3 could begin. Or maybe we'll just end up tackling that in an adaptation. This is one of my favorite little hidden rooms in the game. I just love the little turret music here. It reminds me of a techno turret version of some kind of Tetris music. Of course, we have water, mugs, more cans of beans. And right here, unreality again, all those poor scientists that have been killed off. Music to kill by. I like being able to shoot lasers at turrets and blowing them up. It's so much fun. So much fun to be able to blow up stuff in Portal 2. And of course that adds to the dynamics of the game. Oh really? That's it? That's your stupid surprise? Unbelievable. Yeah.
It was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize was for. Well, I know it wasn't for being immune to neurotoxin.
Yes, that's very true. Now there are a lot of things that we can kind of gather from the game's script. One of them is that the day that the neurotoxin was released was quite possibly the very day that that GLaDOS was brought online. That's not necessarily true, but it's something that we can kind of assume. What may be more accurate to be true is that they tried to keep GLaDOS under control, but they couldn't. When GLaDOS realized she was going to lose control, she releases neurotoxin. It's a bit like Skynet. Oh, another, my favorite room here. Oh, here's the moon. More moon stuff. This thing sees only with unseeing eyes, and there's a zillion mugs in here. This comes from the comic, that she's very, very full of tenacity, and once again there's the moon stuff up to the left. Awesome little cartoons. I love it. You see the moon stuff. Top of the bell curve when the moon is full, and of course, as we eventually find out, when we get to the end of the game, the moon is very much full. Which means that this is the perfect night to do what we are going to do. But yeah, it's quite obvious that the incident with the neurotoxin was on a very important day, and some people, rightfully or wrongly, and I think there's evidence to support both, but place it on the day that it was Bring Your Daughter to Work Day.
I bet you think
and it could very well be true.
I didn't.
It could very well be true indeed.
To your surprise right
and
now.
I might do that with
After all these years,
with the story.
I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
So, the surprise. Shiver my timbers. It's the surprise. Of course, I know what the surprise is, but I remember coming to this for the first time and wondering, what could this surprise possibly be? I apologize for this incredibly stupid, annoying part here.
Initiating surprise in 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
I made it all up.
What?
Surprise.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you.
Man, that's just wrong. But oh, so brilliantly written. Time to go in and have some fun. As you can tell, I've given it some thought. I actually play this a bit differently every time I play this room. Ew. Sometimes when I see that nasty slime, I can't help but think about the movie Soylent Green. Yeah. That slimy Soylent Green-like stuff. Could that be people? Probably not, but hey. Oh, I see it now. That is really cool, because I could never figure out where that second freaking cube had gone, and this time I actually saw it fall down. Which is really cool. Alright. So you basically try and do this without getting killed too much. Ow. Of course, when I was playing this, I couldn't see where the other one had gone. So I decided, you know what, let's just get one of them over there, and we'll figure out the other one later. And then, of course, I see where the other one is. So now it's a matter of getting to where the other one is. And then, of course, it picks it up wrong. Ah, red alert! I'm on fire. Yes, you are. This is an excellent piece of screenwriting right here. Coming up.
I feel awful about that surprise.
Here we
Tell
go.
you what, let's give your parents
This
a
is
call right now.
fantastic.
The birth parents you are trying to reach do not love you. Please hang up.
Oh man, that's great. The birth parents you call do not love you. Please hang up. Wow, that would suck. I actually feel really sorry for Chell about this time, you know.
Sad, but impressive. Maybe they worked at the phone company.
Maybe they worked at the phone company. Could be.
Hey, how's it going? I walked my way onto the old nanobot work crew rebuilding this shaft.
This is
They
brilliant
are
writing too.
Really small. So, I
He,
know,
of course,
Jerry. No, I'm on a break,
thinks
mate.
for some
I'm on a break.
absurd reason that he's a nanobot. Yeah, you're not a nanobot, mate. Nano means tiny. Very tiny.
Anyway, just hang in there for 5 more. What,
Okay.
Jerry? You can't fire me for that.
I'll hang
Yes,
in there.
Jerry. Or maybe your prejudiced work site should have accommodated a nanobot of my size. Thanks for the hate crime, Jer.
Yes.
See you in court, mate. Anyway, look, just hang in there for 5 more chambers.
Yes,
Plus
sir.
time. And you have been asleep for a while, so I guess it's
That's true.
actually pretty funny when you do the math.
Sure, why not? Well, I want to talk about something I briefly mentioned earlier. And that is Chell's parents. And this is a great room to do it in because it gives me quite a bit of time to riff on that, on Chell's parents. So, Chell's parents, we can assume that they were scientists here. Bring your daughter to work day, of course, being the reason for that. We also... Ow, ow! And we can assume, or I'm gonna assume, because it makes for a good story, that Chell's parents worked on the original quantum tunneling device and the stuff behind it. So if they did, and if their daughter was a certified genius, which is definitely a probability, the 2 genius parents, then the odds are that she would have picked up on some of their skill set. Now, if her parents worked, you know, on this project, and there's no reason to suggest they didn't work on the project, then it gives us a bit of handy backstory. I also like to think that Chell is a shortened version of a name. That name could be any number of names that end with L. You could have an interesting spelling of Rachel. You could have Michelle. You could have Rochelle. You could have Rachel. That's the sort of name that makes the most sense. That it be an ELLE name. It could be Michelle. tell you the truth, to have it shortened to Chell. I also think that once once her parents died, that Carolyn and Cave would take over her upbringing, obviously. I think that part of that would be that they or perhaps just Carolyn actually begin to call her by the name Chell, which is, of course, you know, her shortened name or her nickname, if you will. I think that would be something that would endear them to Chell, and kind of keep the parents that she no longer has in her life, which is what Cave and Carolyn would try and do for her, because they love her so much. But they would also want to keep her near, because they want to keep her near and dear to their hearts, because perhaps what happened to Chell's mom and dad, they might be able to figure it out. They might be able
and I came up with
to
a
get them
solution
back.
that I honestly think works out best for one. Federal regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking pretty good.
Here we go. We're back to this
That's
Portal
right.
2's
The
version of
facility is
an
completely
original test
operational
chamber.
again.
Isn't that just swanky? How beautiful. How beautiful and boring all at the same time. I spent about a zillion years in here on my first playthrough, because I'm a bit slow. To be honest, when I first came here, I kind of laughed because I knew exactly what they were trying to do with this visual shorthand of a room, to show that everything is back to normal. But of course, everything isn't back to normal. If everything were back to normal, this would be a really, really short game. Shoots and scores. Oh yeah. See how accurate that was. Not bad at all.
I think these test chambers look even better than they did before. It was easy, really.
I
You
agree.
just have to look at things objectively, see what you don't need anymore.